button. I will first go quickly through the points of discussion. So, of course, the grant, I think the discussion that we heard Miroslav about, it was very much about grants. So we will start with a bit of an update on this. Then I'll give you some general updates about some policy developments. Then we have we will spend a bit of time about the biennial conference. So we have Albena with us for that matter. Vera will provide an update on some IT matters. And finally, and this is something that we will spend a bit more time on, is we will listen to some social media related matters. And that's why we have our social media expert with us, Ani. So let's start with the grant matters. And I see Elisa is, we are not on the call yet. I might be wrong. So grant assignment. In the last 24 hours, both the commission and the coordinator have signed the grant. So this is good. I mean, this is very good news, despite the previous very negative news. So this is reassuring. Of course, I think there was not much worry, but when it comes to these things, you never know. There are so many, before REA signs a grant, there are so many checks being done. It's quite incredible how many different people and departments are involved. A lot of the things that are happening kind of in the back office, but each of these steps can cause some problem. They can find something, this can delay and everything. And so I think as with this, we are remaining committed to the timeline we initially had. Signature in the first half of July. And I've spoken just before this call with my colleagues from the Research Executive Agency to see how to get the pre-financing in your pockets as fast as possible. So normally next week, the pre-financing should go to FECIT colleagues. I see there's nobody from Elisa in the meantime joined. So Elisa, from your side, would you like to say something? And again, congrats on the work well done and on the signatures that have taken place in the last, I think, 24 hours.
Yes, apologies for being late, but I have some issues. I changed computer and now everything seems working. So it took me a while to come back. So just, yeah, following the conversation, as Slaven said, the European Commission has already signed the grant agreement, so it's very fast. So now actually you will receive today in a few hours, if not tomorrow, very early on, a requirement to sign your grant agreement, okay? And this is necessary to proceed. Meantime, as Slaven said, we are waiting to receive the pre-financing. It's usually 30 days, but things are speeding up. So we are already being informed by the project officers about this. So please, I know that some of you have already signed the grant agreement, so thanks a lot for being so quick. So I will basically encourage the rest, as I was already initially at the beginning of at the end of the last month, indicate please start now to sign the grant agreement as soon as possible. Then most likely in a week from now, you will receive the first draft of the consortium agreement, okay? But focus first on the grant agreement signature. Also, tomorrow you will receive as I already announced by email to all of you, to BHOs that are beneficiaries of the project, the link to enter into the SharePoint that we have created. So there you will find, of course, the description of action, the budget, general information, and then more information I will forward into the emails to that. And remember, if you have any, unfortunately, sometimes it happens, some technical issues, please first contact your technical support to see on your side, and if not, then we will contact our internal technical support. So and let's try to figure out how to solve, if in any case any issues happen, to enter these error points. So, and I think this is all from my side. If anyone has questions, I mean, but we don't have much information. It's the regular procedure. Anyway, in this time, everything has been sped up. So it's good news.
Yes, no question, no raise. There is a raised hand from ETH Zurich colleagues.
Yes, thank you very much. I just have a quick question. As you know, like our German friends and ourselves, we have the task of research security. And in our first meeting and the discussion of that, we were actually thinking, I know, Elisa, you said that we have the SharePoint, but we were actually thinking it's a European project, we are European partners. And I wanted to ask maybe to Slaven and Vera, is there a project management tool or a storage that the European Commission recommends, which would have the servers and all the data and so on in Europe, that we could use rather than Microsoft, which we all know is
Not, I
yeah.
think that's a very good point, and thank you for raising this. Now, so yes, I think the matter of it's finding a balance between proportionality related to what are the security risks of these projects and user friendliness. And my suggestion would be, since the Teams is, and definitely from Commission side, we share that concern very well, and would be to continue using Teams because it is the most. If the work on research security tends to become of a sensitive nature, then there are other alternatives which are off the shelf, right? There are some alternatives to Teams. It is often something that most people are not aware of. They will need to, install new programs. It's usually not that as user friendly, but I would say, I don't think that you will not be dealing with classified information. So in that sense, I think Teams is sufficiently secure. In each case, what you do, what you publish, you have to kind of always think what would be the impact if this gets public, right? So always think, whatever you say, whatever you put on Teams, what if this leaks? This will already, I think, be a good precaution. But then during the project, as I mentioned, if you see by working with security, you have some sensitive information. Okay, sometimes it's just a matter if it is classified or confidential, but it can also be non-classified but sensitive, then we can look into it. From the Commission side, we have started around 2 weeks ago to have an alternative, an EU-developed alternative for Teams, which is as a backup option in case for some reason Teams no longer works or it is seen as a security threat, we can switch to this other alternative. I have played a little bit with it, and honestly, I mean, you get used to the Teams. So I would say keep using the Teams. If you see research security is you're dealing with some sensitive information, then we can discuss this again. There are quite some off-the-shelf solutions for this. There are some platforms, IT tools for the defense industry, but for something else I've also used in the past are the platforms that are often used in the finance industry when it comes to, for example, annual reports. And this is very, very safe, because imagine an annual quarter report of a big company gets leaked before, right? So there is, imagine impact on stock market. So especially there are quite some solutions for that. very long answer to a short question.
Yeah, but that's good. Thank you. So, I mean, we also looked into some different systems. I'm not so worried that we have sensitive classified data. It is more like we would like to lead by example. And like, since this is our topic, we just thought like, if you would have told me, yes, the EC is using a specific tool, then we would probably have suggested to accommodate that, but that's fine. Thanks a lot.
Yeah, just maybe one final point on this. So what we did, what we have done last year is, and this was with our IT colleagues. I'm not sure if we shared it. Maybe it's something to present one of the next meetings. Was we had a scenario: what if EURAXESS goes down, right? What if extranet goes down? What if we cannot communicate anymore? And then it was a kind of a crisis management guide on how to communicate with the BHOs, who to report to first. So it's a really a set of crisis management procedures, and there is a little bit also covered on what if the usual tools do not longer exist. So maybe this is something, this could be interesting, I think, to discuss with the network. We developed it mostly for our own internal use following the data leak we had. So we are prepared for something that hopefully will never take place. But I think it could be interesting for everybody to see what was in it. Noted for the next agenda. Okay, thank you, Serena. And no more raised hands. So in that case, let's go perhaps to a couple of other, unless Elise is anything else. So everybody has to sign it before they go on holidays. Is that how I understand it?
Exactly. And if they're on holidays, we already set up some kind of mechanism so people are aware that if they're on holidays, who has to sign, and please sign.
All right. So nobody will be able to enjoy the holidays knowing that it's not signed on their behalf. So, okay, good. Then I will ask to a couple of updates. So the ERA Act updates. That's what's keeping us extremely busy now. So there might be, I don't know how public this is, but there is a change, most probable change in the timeline. And normally when somebody from Commission says there's a change in the timeline, is to announce a delay. In this case, is the opposite. That we are trying to get everything done 2 months earlier. So we were aiming at December, and now we are actually aiming at end of September, early October. We are having endless amount of meetings on this. The most important one of this week was a meeting with all the CAP services. This is where we feel a bit what is the heat internally regarding this, and this went quite well because we pretty much tried to discuss with all the other DGs, and EURAXESS goes much more beyond DGRTD alone. And our commissioner, because, for example, if you think about research careers that you're very much familiar with, well, this goes very much into migration area, into area of migration, social protection, employment. Most of the things there are actually outside research innovation angle. So anyhow, I would say the timeline has been is being pushed forward. In September, we have to pass the RSB test, which is the Regulatory Scrutiny Board test. They fail around half of the proposals. Recently, even more than this year, even more than half. So it is an exam that we have to pass. And yes, we have been, I would say, this work continues. It will continue over the next weeks, over the summer, basically. I would say when it comes to the ambitions, I think we have not really sacrificed the ambition despite the timeline changes. During in the past weeks, we have, I would say, encountered a lot of problems we haven't foreseen, but also we found solutions to this. problems. So far we managed to maintain the level of ambition and not have something which is just a paper tiger. So that's on the ERA Act. And in August we won't have a monthly meeting. In September we will, and maybe then I'll be able to say if we passed the RSB. Actually, we kind of have to pass the RSB. There's quite a lot at stake, but you never know. So that's about the ERA Act. What else? In early September we have the EU Talenton. So I mentioned this a couple of times and also keep bringing this up because this is something we got quite some, and I will get the information, but we had around 1,300 applications for EU Talenton this year. It was the biggest number of applications we received, also because we made a bit more noise. Many EURAXESS networks also shared information about this. We used also the EURAXESS EU social media for this, and I think 2 weeks ago we announced the selected 100 participants. So that's it. It's taking place from 7 to 11 of September in Brest in France. Then last week we had implementation dialogue. What is implementation dialogue? It's basically a moment when the Commission meets those that are impacted by the policies. In this case, it was about research careers. So we invited very much a variety of stakeholders. It is limited, so it's always been around 25 people. So we had 26 people, I believe. So it was very much about having it. Having this balance in terms of type of stakeholders. So we had associations of universities, but also universities. We had researchers, also associations representing researchers. We had RTOs, we had ASML, EMEC, Novo Nordisk, a bunch of organizations, some winners from some competitions, European Students Association, things like that. So we also had, so for this, I'm bringing this up because looking at the list, we also involved some individuals either directly from EURAXESS network or that helped us in finding the people. So we had representatives from EURAXESS Bulgaria and EURAXESS France, and EURAXESS Germany has helped us with identifying the right colleagues of from the Max Planck. So that's a bit on this. General summary of this meeting will be published next week. So we're now finalizing this. In general, there was very much, EURAXESS was very much framed positively. From EURAXESS Bulgaria, we had Tanya with us that also used this opportunity to invite the commissioner to come to Sofia for the biennial conference. And I think that was a perfect moment to do so, because suddenly in front of everyone, she was kind of confronted with the question, will she actually, first she heard a lot of people talk positive about EURAXESS, and then came the invitation. So I think that definitely increases the chances of having her. So generally, I think it was a quite good 2-hour meeting. What else? 24th of June, I think it's the 24th of June. So this relates to the final update from my side, relates to the Horizon Europe negotiations. So a PGA, which stands for Partial Grant Agreement, was agreed between the member states in the context of Coreper 1 in the Council. I think it's the ones of you that are very much following this, probably you have already seen it. If not, I think that's quite an important milestone that has been reached. So it very much focuses on the Horizon Europe regulation for its rules of participation and dissemination. Extremely important is also it sets out how the program would operate in practice. What are the main points? So one of the things that came very much in discussion was that the member states want to have control over the priorities of upcoming of FP10. So this is very much through EURAC and the Horizon Program committees. So the EURAC would have a stronger role than it has today. This was even more raised, the concern from this was even more clearer because of connection between Horizon Europe and ECF. And so this was very much that I would say one of the triggers to make sure that member states have clear control over the priorities over the Horizon Europe, and that this would not be diluted or that the control will not be lost through ECF governance. There is this dual use by design approach, so stronger security safeguards, but also scope for the EIC to support deep tech with defense applications. Some revised rules for European partnerships for research infrastructures, ERC and MSCA. Bit more attention given to early career researchers, I would say, than it is in the current framework program. There's been a lot of work on finding this balance between open bottom-up collaborative research and the more top-down strategic topics. When it comes to the widening support, it was, I think it's now clear that the support will continue for those countries with weaker RNI system. Now, this is a partial general agreement, partial because there's still quite some things that have not been addressed. The most important one is, of course, the money. So this is hopefully will be done under the Irish presidency, and also some other topics are still outstanding, such as EIT, so the European Institute of Innovation and Technology, the KICS, etc., etc. So this is also something which is up for discussion. So these were a couple of policy updates. Perhaps we can now, before I pass the floor to Vera and Ani, perhaps we can a little bit listen to colleagues from EURAXESS Bulgaria. I think Albena is with us to give us a bit more information about the biennial conference of end of October.
Hello. I have prepared a document with the rooms in the hotel. I understood that there are questions about the workshops, and I would kindly ask our colleagues who are organizing workshops to send us a list of everything that they need for their sessions. We will do our best to provide all necessary materials and equipment. And I would like to say that, can I share the screen, please?
Yes, go ahead, Albina.
Thank you. Do you see it now?
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
Okay. I would like to show you exactly how the room looks and what are the possibilities. Here are the capacity and the arrangement that can be provided, and it can be arranged like this. There are unfortunately no available round tables. The tables are like classroom desk, and there is a panel in front, and it won't be comfortable for the participants to sit around them. They can be seated only on one side. So please have this in mind, and also we need to have in every room, we need to have a computer to be connected with the flat screen. And the tables can be rearranged and moved to suit different formats that the workshop will have. But once we receive requirements from everyone, we will prepare allocation and seating arrangements in accordance with your requirements. And after that, before the event, we can have a short meeting to discuss the setup and agree on the best way to proceed, if you agree.
George, you have raised your hand. Please go ahead.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to quickly ask for the list of things that would be needed for the workshop. What kind of deadline do you have in mind, just so that we know when we should let you know by?
Maybe the colleagues, maybe Vera will tell us when the registration will be finished, and then we can proceed further with the workshop arrangements.
I don't think it's very much connected. So I think it's, I mean, I don't think there's a rush. So I think we have to check for the timeline on this, but this is end of October, and between now and October, there's quite some time. But indeed, I think it makes sense because there could be a lot of workshops, a lot of moderation happening. I think there needs to be kind of 1 or 2, 3 pages explaining this is what you need to do by when, these are the templates, things like that, right? So I think that has to be still developed and communicated to you. But I think when it comes to very much the practicalities of the workshop, I mean, the moderators will have quite some time. What it means, what is important is to agree on the agenda, which so everybody knows that they have to do a workshop or not. And then they will be given the freedom within some boundaries to make sure that there's some structure behind it. But George, this has to be defined yet.
Thank you.
Monica?
Yes, thank you. Could you please also maybe mention whether there will be still some seats left, as already discussed during the last meeting?
So there are not all seats have been used. The remaining seats have not yet, I think, been redistributed or I don't think they have been. The idea for the distribution of the remaining seats will be priority will be given to those participants that have an active role. So, for example, those that would moderate a workshop. And also a bit of priority will be given to those countries that have lost the most number of seats compared to the previous edition in Katowice. That would be, I would say, the first kind of top up in number of seats. And then hopefully I hope the money will be moving quickly next week. From the moment it has arrived in Sofia, then it's important to start with booking travel and accommodation. Accommodation it's a fixed cost. We know how much it is, but travel is you work with estimates, right? And I hope there's some savings to be made on travel, which should allow us to get more people to Sofia. So we have some remaining seats, which are I think around 10, which should be distributed on that basis, and then we will see how the cost of flights is going. If it is below our estimates, meaning there's going to be some financial resources freed up, then this could be used for additional participants. but this will be happening over the next month. So yeah. Easter?
Yeah, about the flight tickets, it's well known that as earlier it's cheaper, but more than that. Last time, I must say, wasn't available just with connections. It was a 12-hour journey and cost almost 900 euros. So please do it as as early as possible.
So I think what is the, it depends very much on the location. So here you're flying to a capital, this helps. In the past, in the Katowice, we had Katowice airport, but I think around half of the people, it was easier, better for them to fly to the Krakow airport. Before that, we in Nantes, it was most of people that were flying to Paris and had to find a way to Nantes. So I think now, as this is taking place in Sofia, it should be easier. At least there is no mobility within Bulgaria. But let's see, it's a lot of flights, and we are often surprised by these costs as well. There are some connections which are very bad, and then these things happen. Are going to happen, but indeed, I think the idea is very much to find a good balance between travel time and the cost. Then there is a comment from Mireia about the web page. Okay. Albert, do you want to say something about Mireia's post about the workshop format, things like that?
Maybe I should. The workshops actually taking care of it, and yes, indeed, there will be some online workshops, but they will not be for those that are in present. I mean, it will be not hybrid. Those that are in present will be engaged only in on-site workshops. The online workshops will offer to those interested colleagues from the network that are not able to join the conference, and just to keep them in the loop while the others are set in the rooms. Otherwise, as usual, the plenary sessions on day 1st and day 3 will be streamed.
Okay. Thank you. Now that clarifies. Monica asked about expression of interest for the workshops, if there's still a possibility.
Yes, there is. Not all of the. We have enough available rooms for several workshops more. We have capacity.
So there are quite some rooms. So the idea indeed will be to use all the rooms that are booked in the hotel, and so it's better to have smaller groups.
We have ability to host another workshop, 1 or 2 more, no matter. So don't hesitate if you have a brilliant idea. We will discuss it with the coordinator and with the European Commission about that, and we'll set up another workshop if we all agree. But physical availability there is.
And in the morning and in the evening. So if you have any ideas, please let us know.
Mm-hmm.
Mireia needs to raise her hand. I think Mireia, you were first.
Yes, so hello, good afternoon to everyone. Indeed, I was posting what I could read on the web page in case I missed some information, because so we were also, as I can read that Monica explained, that she was asked by one of her centers. We were asked by our centers so to know how to propose workshops and so on. And the information that I got was this one that I just copy pasted. So the first thing is to try to clarify if I understood well, we can still send expressions of interest for the workshops. And if yes, to which address?
To all of us, to Sofia University, any of the colleagues, to the colleagues from the coordination team, Petit, and also to
Sorry, I couldn't hear.
Could you please address it to everybody, to our team, to FECIT, and to the colleagues from the European Commission there and so on?
Okay, and even if you don't have a deadline, do you have an idea of until when will it be possible?
We need to complete the registration, and then we can give you a deadline.
What we discussed internally was let's try to have the agenda ready before the end of the summer, by the end of August. So then September, October are for these things.
Okay, thank you very much.
But yeah, that's a high level, definitely. Iser?
Yeah, thank you. If we're done with Sofia, with biannual, I want to raise something which I think is very, very important. I first think that it was a smart decision to prepare a DOW detailed for the first year and then to reassess and to talk about it, because we are facing, it was the fourth industrial revolution, no more industrial revolution. We are facing the AI, which changing our life. And it's not a webinar about AI, but how we are going to work. I suggest that for each meeting that we will have, a BHO meeting, those who are interested or will suggest something that is connected to that, how to work, good practice, ideas. So I want to tell you a real story, what happened. Miroslav, sorry, delayed. We have very good friends. He was in charge of what called library, to make some order, the data that we have, to have a good access, right access, and not duplicates and so and so. And we used taxonomy, which is like librarian as working. The EURATalent platform started on February 23, right? Yeah. But it was prepared during 22. And on November 22, OpenAI declared or give to the public at ChatGPT. And after a short time, we realized that we are on the wrong way. So we did a lot of thinking, and every Sunday we have a session talking about how to do, what to do, how to introduce it. Unfortunately, Sunday he didn't reply, and on Monday we heard that he passed away. But it's very important. We must be there, and if we can make something dedicated, ongoing session, community of practice, or whatever, because it's important. This is what I suggest, and how to do it. It's open. Maybe a voluntary group or whatever.
Sounds. Thank you. It sounds like a topic for a workshop in Sofia. How to leverage the use of AI in this case more for EURAXESS operational excellence, which is also the topic of the project. No, I think that is, I see there have been some thumbs up. So we had, by the way, the AI topic in Nantes. And not knowing how much it would change. But indeed, we have to look into this, of course, with the limitations of IT infrastructure. EURAXESS is built in, but also this has changed a lot over the past year. So now EURAXESS is on the Commission's IT infrastructure. I said 2 years ago, when it comes to AI, not much was possible. Now it has changed a lot. Okay, good. Thank you very much, Issa. Before we go to the next point, is there anybody else who want to any questions about the conference, comments about the conference, or about what Issa just said before we move to some IT updates in the next 9 minutes? Okay, so we have, in that case, we still have some IT updates, and we have Annie with us, and we have 9 minutes. So I'll pass the floor quickly to Vera for the IT updates, and then we all listen to Annie.
Hello to you all as well. I haven't said hi yet, so I'm taking the opportunity. Good to see you all after the very nice and successful meeting we had in Brussels last month. So thank you all for what you contributed there as well. So just based on the information that we provided in that meeting, I quickly want to touch upon just 2 very short IT matters. Just so you are up to date, I already sent an email about this, but the statistics collection for the first half of the year is now officially open, and it will remain open until the 30th of September. So there's still plenty of time to submit those reports. Another aspect that I wanted to mention is that where we previously have restricted the amount of portal admins that you can have in your organization to 2, we have now made it possible for you to request for more to be added in your organization. So if you wish to do so, you can simply contact me and I'll make sure to add them. So they will have complete access to your portal as well. We are running short on time, so I want to make sure that we get to Annie, as that is really an interesting aspect of today's meeting. We mentioned in the BHO meeting that we are trying to find more ways of collaborating when it comes to social media. So how can we share posts? How can we make sure that we promote EURAXESS together and as in a cohesive manner? And this is where Annie comes in and has a very good suggestion for how to get started, how to get the ball rolling when it comes to this. So I'm going to hand over to Annie for her to provide an explanation of, or a suggestion for how we could introduce this kind of collaboration to start with. Annie, please go ahead.
Hi everyone, thank you Vera. So I'll try to be as fast as possible. So yes, as Vera said, we are trying to so over the past few months we have been trying to develop the EURAXESS social media channels, and we are trying to find out how we will be able to evolve our content even further. At the moment, as most of you have seen, because I have seen many interactions on our social media from your side, our content consists of mainly of some standalone posts, which are of course very important for our content strategy. But we wanted to do something and introduce something that people will be able to recognize us and look forward to. So we had the idea of a recurring content series, which we called EURAXESS on the Move. The idea actually is very simple. The purpose of this is for every month to have a focus on one European country through a series of dedicated social media posts, but this will be alongside our regular content publication. So yes, instead of this standalone post or for example, instead of publishing random facts and random posts about different countries and what each country is doing, we were thinking that this format will allow us to build a more complete picture for each destination, and it how can I say, like it will follow the researcher's journey. For example, how a researcher, sorry, is trying to find their new job, and then, but they are also trying to find more about this country, this place, the research environment, the landscape, universities, and everything around it, but also the life, like how this country is it a fit for me, and things like this. So this is where you come in, and this is how we want to involve you in this content series. I'm trying to speak very fast, so apologies if I'm not understandable. Yes, so we want to bring your local expertise into this kind of content. Of course, we don't want to burden you, but we will be preparing everything, the content, the visuals, the publishing, everything, but we want to work together with you to make sure that everything is valid, everything reflects a local perspective, and like, for example, you can give us some a practical relocation tip, an interesting fact about the research landscape of each country, a recommendation, for example, that you would give to a researcher who is considering a move to this country, or perhaps a success story that you want to share. We will be also, we want to also make it even easier for you, for example, to provide the content in English and in an editable format, where you will be able to translate the content in your own language and post it on your pages whenever this is feasible. I know that some of you may want, for example, to be even more involved in this. So, for example, we can make it something more dynamic. For example, we can create short videos. We can guide you through how, for example, not interview, but question-based videos where you can reply, or you give us, I don't know, a tour of your city and talk a bit about the research ecosystem there, and anything else we might or you might think. Of course, we are super. Also, something else I was thinking, perhaps you also have an interesting experience of another researcher that you can bring us in contact with, or you can reach out to them and they can share their own perspective. This will be very valuable for us. I mean, I think videos and authentic stories are very valuable. So yes, I don't know, I think I said everything. Of course, this will be a pilot and testing at the beginning to see what works best, what doesn't work, and what we can improve. We will share our proposal with you after this meeting. And of course, if you have any questions, if you have any ideas, everything, I mean, yes, ambassadors, I mean, there are a lot of things we can do. Of course, everything that will go live, I mean, whatever needs to go through validation will go through you. We want to give real and valid information. So yes, that was it from my side. I'm looking forward to it. Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Annie. This is really, at least I think, or we think, that this is a really great way to engage you all. And I think one important aspect is that it's low threshold, so you can be involved to the extent that you wish. So exactly. You can give a lot of feedback, but if you're not too keen on social media or too interested to be a part of it, it's not an obligation, but it's really a great opportunity to join in with a low threshold. So with the information that we'll be sending out, you can reach out to us with your suggestions, anything that you wish to include on your part. So we're looking forward to also putting you in contact actively with Annie for further cooperation. Are there any questions for Annie already at this stage? We are at 3 p.m. mark, but if there's any quick questions, we can still take those. No questions?
Good news is that we will be seeing more of Annie, and in the meantime, I hope you're also seeing the difference on the EURAXESS social media. By the way, also this new channel for HR Excellence Research Awards for those of you that are connected or wearing different hats. So I think it looks all quite professional. As you see, Annie is collecting, is playing with different things. It's not just a matter of dumping stuff on LinkedIn. It's kind of, I mean, it is dumping it and seeing it, what works and what doesn't, and this will help us shape this strategy. So more of that to come. Thanks a lot, Annie, for bringing the energy.
Thank you. Looking forward to it and working with you.
Very nice. And I think we need to bring Annie next time to the BHO meeting in Brussels. Great. Then any other business before we wrap this up? No other business. We will stay in touch by email over the next weeks unless if there are some bilateral meetings taking place to discuss some matters. From the Commission side, is always going to be somebody in the next weeks. Quite often Vera. Thanks to Vera for that. If make sure that if you get out of office, then approach the other person, and we will reconvene again in September. The usual, we continue with the usual every second Thursday of September, unless if it's a public holiday or something else major happening. And by then, I wish you all a very relaxing summer break. The right to disconnect, I hope it will be respected in your case, and hope to see you all energetic back in September. Vera, do you want to say something before we are going to be sad?
No, enjoy the summer and hope that, that you enjoy the heat as well.
And if you need to cool down, you can always visit Vera in Finland.
Yes, join me in 14 degrees and see you in September.
Right.
Yeah.
See you. Bye-bye. Enjoy the summer.
See you. Bye.
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 Bye. Bye-bye.
See you in
Bye.
September.